lights taking care of my mind. Getting high, getting high, getting high, getting high. I can get so lost, and I look to you every time. I know that it's not right. I know that it's not right. Hey, it's me. I know I'm calling from another country, but I'd like to see you whenever you're free. And yeah, I'm fine. I just feel real bad all of the time, finding the darkest times. And I guess you're my light when everything's hazy. I'm so sorry. It was never my intention to make you worry. I've been having too much fun, and I hold on to you when it all goes wrong. I'm so sorry. It was never my intention to keep on falling. I guess I got lost in the game, and it's hard to concentrate when everything's hazy.
Hey guys, it is later than I intended to try and get on. I was trying to set up my DSLR to work so that I could show like what's going on in front of me, and it took so long that the bit of battery I did have died, so not happening tonight. But anyway, it has been a minute. I have not been here in quite some time. Actually, I don't even know when the last time was that I streamed. But I've had so much going on with myself being sick and my kids being sick and sports starting and birthday party recently and just so many things that it has been. I've been trying to get around to doing this and it just hasn't happened, so I just figured I'd make myself get on tonight regardless of what I look like and whether things were set up the way I wanted them to be or not. I'm testing out the new cute little PNG tuber that I made. I have her here and she seems to be working pretty good, so I'm just going to leave her up and see how it actually works throughout the whole stream. And yeah, so what I was going to try to do tonight was get started on, or maybe even finish, I don't even know, we'll see how long I'm on. I do custom dolls. I've done some for some people before, but I am also doing them for myself, which, I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna be yawning. If you can see I'm gonna try to not pull this out, my shelf over there, especially all of these 4 shelves here, have dolls on them that I started prepping, like either putting on ears, like most of them are elves, or have horns. And so, give me just 1 second, I actually want to test to make sure that this is working. I'm not sure why it's not working properly on Facebook. Let's see a second here, give me just 1 minute. It's been long enough to where I don't remember if I'm even doing this right. Give me just 1 minute. It's been long enough to where... Okay, there we go. I don't know what the crap that was. anyway, so yeah, I work on, I do custom dolls for myself and for others if they would hopefully want them. But I started with putting in the wire for the ears and I use epoxy sculpt to form the ears and the horns and other appendages. Most of it's just experimenting. I've watched and followed some people on YouTube for a while now. And where do I have audio coming in from? Sorry. Yeah, that I started, oh goodness, I think it was, I want to say 2019, that I started doing them, and I haven't done very many of them. Kind of everything got pushed back when I moved, and I'm just starting to try and really get back into it all. So anyway, all that crap being said, the one that I wanted to start on that I thought would be the easiest, because she really doesn't have a lot of armor and stuff to her, is my half orc, which most of these are D&D. My characters that I run in my games with my friends and stuff, or with my family. And then I also do have some World of Warcraft dolls that I'm going to be working on and some other things. But I was going to start with my half orc. Her name is Ishara. And I just wanted to go with this. I drew this picture when we first started the campaign. She was just like a simple, sort of like tattered peasant, sort of like farmhand, whatever was with what she started with in her backstory. And so I kind of just, she has like a ripped sort of shirt and skirt thing going on with an apron, and she has her shovel that she uses as a weapon, and just for using with work. And she has a couple of other accessories. So the doll that I got this, I believe, I want to say Callista. I think it's a Callista Fierce, Casta Fierce, sorry. Monster High doll off of eBay. eBay is where I get most of the things, and sometimes I really have to hunt for what I'm looking for or what I can make work. But I got the doll. I bought the doll, so she was green, and she had the black hair already. So I figured that'd make it a little bit easier, because usually I make the hair out of yarn, which it's not that it's hard to do. It's just it's a bit time consuming and it takes up space. And so anyway, this doll just had the right color and length of hair. So when I started with her, she had makeup on and everything, so I used acetone to remove the eyebrows and the eye makeup and the lip makeup, and then I used a tool to puncture some holes in the sides of her mouth, like right here on the sides, and then I used some wire and epoxy sculpt again to make her tusks, because she has these two little, I made them actually quite larger on her than I intended to, but it's fine. I don't think it looks too bad. I actually kind of like it. I get scared when it comes to things like tusks and stuff, because I feel like I'm just gonna do a horrible job with them. But anyway, so I put hers on there and sanded them down and shaped them, and she's nude at the moment. So I liked this sculpt because the Monster High dolls are really skinny, like ungodly skinny, and this one is also, but she had more definitive features to, like, her shoulders and her arms, and her hands are more muscular too. Like she doesn't have like these really dainty hands. So oh man, it's out of focus so bad today. I think it's probably just my lighting and everything. But so I liked that she wasn't as skinny as most of the other Monster High dolls are. She's a little bit more buff, which I would assume most orcs or half orcs are anyway. So I just figured that the sculpt of the body and stuff just fit her a little bit better for what I was looking for. She is not going to have shoes on because she's usually just barefoot. My character at the moment, like, she does have Brigadier armor on, but I'm not going to be including that in this design. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and try to, like I said, work off of the picture here, because I really just liked this. Like, this idea came to my mind, like, immediately as soon as we were working up our characters and everything. So, anyway, that is what I'm going to try to work off of. I have all of my supplies on the floor here. I will try to do my best to work up here. I've never worked up here in my computer room before. I usually try to do as much of my stuff as I can, either down in my basement or at my dining room table, but it's just not possible for me to film. Like, I've been trying to figure out if I can use my phone or set up something that I can take down easily, and just the Wi-Fi in the basement and the ability to not just be in everybody else's business, it's just not possible. So I'm trying to do it up here and see how that works, actually. So I am just hoping I don't accidentally spill paint or E6000. I use this stuff religiously. I have probably about 6 tubes of it right now, and this one's, it's got like holes in the side from where it's been pitched, and it kind of likes to ooze out the side, so hopefully it does not do that all over my new carpet. Anyway, so for anybody that's never done custom dolls before, it's a process. It's kind of I think it's kind of fun. Like, I'll try to talk as I work. The first thing I'm gonna do is it's actually a technique that I have seen done many times, and I haven't really had to use it on somebody with colored skin, and by colored I mean, like, obviously her skin's green, so I'm talking, not normal skin tones, and I'm not sure how well this will work. What you do is you can actually take, I'm sorry, my voice, by the way, hold on. Need some water. I'm going to take, let's see, I don't even have a dark enough shade to do it. Usually take like some pastels here. Like, I have some not oil pastels, like just your standard, almost like chalk type pastels. And you try to find colors that would work to shade and highlight areas on her body and her face. It's similar to doing makeup, actually. So if you know how to do contouring, or you know how to do eyeshadow, or even if you don't know how and you just want to play around, the skills kind of carry over. So yeah, for her skin is pretty dark. I don't even know where I have it here, actually, on the floor. Sometimes when I can't find a shade of pastel, certain kinds of eyeshadow can work. And you use matte eyeshadow, something that's not shimmery or shiny, unless you're getting to the point where you want to highlight and you want to add those kind of details, like on the nose or the lip or the cheeks, then you can go ahead and use those. But for the most part, you want to keep your pastel or your eyeshadow matte so that it creates realistic looking depth. When you do contouring, or you're doing, just eyeshadow, eye makeup in general, a lot of times working in, especially for cosplay too, if you're really trying to change the look of your nose or your eyes, where you apply your shadows and your lines will create a different kind of depth that can totally change the look of your face or what you're working on. So just to describe the process a second, I'm gonna attempt, let's see, her skin is a green and they don't really make like a dark green. So I'm gonna use a little bit of like a dark brown, because sometimes orcs' skin, well, at least in I'm gonna say, at least in my experience, like I've studied them in the wild or something. In games like WoW and stuff where you have the ability to choose your orc's skin pigment, whether it's green or tan or red or brown, they usually, like, I like the greenish brown, like the very natural, leafy looking. So I'd be okay with using a little bit of brown. I really do wish I had a dark green that I could use, but we'll try with the brown. And if it really just looks terrible, then I'll look and see what I've got as far as eyeshadow first. And I'm sorry about my camera going out of focus too. So I'm gonna try to show the best I can since I don't have the other camera up. I have an X-Acto knife. This one is a cobalt. You can just use a regular pen knife, whatever you've got. You can use the side edge of your scissors or whatever. And you take your chalk, and I'll show you up here in a second. You just gently on the edge, kind of shave it. Oh, I don't like that sound or that feeling though. So I'm gonna do it over the. I have a like a bowl that I use for like paint and stuff. I haven't just peeled off the acrylic. I'm gonna go ahead and shave some of this down into the bowl here, and it's gonna create a very fine powder that you can use to shade the parts of your doll that you want to shade. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and try to mix in some green and see if it creates a darker green. Like, you gotta remember, when it comes to colors and physical things, whether it's actual art supplies or makeup, it's all art. It's all thinking about how colors are gonna play and interact with each other. And, you know, if you're overlaying a certain color over another color, when they mix, they can create a different shade. So sometimes you got to really think about what you're doing. Like when I think about blushes, sometimes with colored skin it's tricky because, and I get this when I do digital art, when you think about, say you're doing somebody with green skin, they still theoretically have blood the same way that we do, blood that's bluish looking in your veins that produces a red pigmentation on the areas that have blood vessels closer to the surface. So you want to also apply that knowledge when you're doing blushing on somebody who has colored skin, and sometimes you might just go right in with like a red, but if you're mixing it red on top of a skin color that's already green, it could kind of come off like brown, because red and green make like a brown. So really try to like test what you're doing first before you actually just dive right in. You may have to go with something that has a little bit more orange to it or yellow, whatever. But anyway, I have like a fine paintbrush. It's kind of fluffy, sort of, a little bit like, I think like a filbert. I'm gonna go ahead and just mix these two colors together, this brown and this green chalk pastel, and kind of see what, yeah, it kind of gives us like a mossy dark green. I will really promise to try to get the other camera set up better next time. I spent so much time trying to do it through the same way I have it set up from like my Nintendo Switch, like through a sort of like a cam link, but it's not an actual cam link, it's a different brand. But it said that it wouldn't work with the camera that I have, so then I had to download a different utility thing, and I was trying to set it all up that way and download the software and restart the computer and run everything, and it just took forever, so not today. So going to focus mostly in her picture. She does not have eyebrows, which I'm really kind of a little bit worried about how I'm gonna do with that, because I always, like, eyebrows is one of those things that I focus on a lot when I draw characters of my own, and when I focus on like facial expressions. So I'm really concerned about how well I'm gonna do with this one. But so yeah, she's got. I bet you it's because I do run a snap filter on my camera because like especially right now, like I don't have any makeup on and my face just looks awful. I wonder that's not gonna help. I don't think. Let me play around with this a second. Oh, that's sexy. That's a look. I don't I don't think I'm gonna go with that one today. This one's not bad. It's quite bright with my light on. I forgot. I should have probably done this beforehand, so I apologize. Let's see. What other? Let's see. This one. There we go. We'll go with this one. Okay. So there we go. It is a little bit better for her. Let me just run a white page here. There we go. All right. So she is like she's a very bright green color, and I have. Let me see. I'll do the. See, it made mixing the brown and the green made a darker mossy color. So I'm gonna try to go in like in the crevices of her eyes. Oh gosh, I'm gonna spill it already. Crevices of her eyes here by her nose, and try to work in some shading. And I'll try to do this kind of up here. I'll see if I can. Oh man. And it's not gonna be perfect. Like I said, a lot of this is experimenting and me just trying to figure out my own way to kind of do this. If you can hear me blowing into the mic, I'm so sorry. I just realized that that's probably happening, so my bad. So for her, I don't like. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like making ugly characters. I don't. I think part of it is one, I'm not really good at it, and two, when I try to make a character, I really try to focus on like, alright, here, hang on one second, this is, can't really see it too well, but a little bit of shading starting to get built up there, and you can always wipe it off if you need to. I always try to make my characters, you know, I put myself in those characters, whether I'm playing it, you know, working on character creation in an MMO or tabletop RPG game. I try to design the character as if I am that character. So, you know, if I'm gonna be a halfling, what do I think I would be like if I was a halfling or a goblin, or you know, if I was going to be a mermaid or a vampire or an orc or an elf. I always try to, and I know there are people out there who are really good at making ugly, really cool concepts that really work. Like they're really good with like the horror aspect of some of it, or you know, just these really crazy out there ideas, and I'm just not, just isn't something that I'm very good at. I think I always just try to make them look strong and beautiful. I mean, I don't know. That's just me personally. I know some people are like that. I really don't. I think I focus more on the looks than I really even do about the character. Like I feel like I play in some groups and they marry through their characters, like every single one of them, that they're trying to do the max amount of damage, and they understand, like, you know, racial buffs, and man, I just, like, even video games, I don't focus on that stuff. I probably should, if I was a better team player, you know, working on doing like the best character build. But I'm it's just not at the forefront of my mind, honestly. I guess I don't care that much. I figure I'm like a work with what you've got kind of person. I like the challenge of trying to just live up to the expectation of whatever I already am. And I guess that's pretty much what I do in life anyway. Okay, this is kind of just getting to a point where it's not really adding much more color. A lot of times you do go back in and you can spray your work with layer of like a clear coat, like Mr. Super Clear. Or I did find one other matte spray that works just as well, and I think I got it at, I want to say Michael's. And it's just like craft matte finishing spray. I did make the mistake one time. I had to take a doll, but I had to repaint her skin. And actually, I'll grab this one a second so that I can show you. So just give me just 1 second. I suppose I probably should have started with an example. So this doll I made for our Star Wars game that a friend of mine was running. And so my character, she is Zabrakian, and she's a Fringer. So I painted her skin red. She's sort of like think of Darth Maul off Star Wars. Like that would be that kind of race. And I went ahead and I did her tattoos and her eye makeup. But you can see her face is a little bit shinier than I wanted it to be, because when I did a finishing spray on her, I forgot that I didn't have any matte spray, and I was working on a project, a commission of dolls from somebody else, and I used the last of my matte spray on those dolls, and then what I had, I just assumed was the same spray, and it wasn't. It was clear. And so anyway, I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it looks like horribly awful, but a little more shiny than I wanted it to be. But so yeah, I could have made these points here, but I didn't. I inserted the wire and the epoxy sculpt to make her these horns. I wanted it to look like a crown kind of look. I did all the tattoo work on her body. Like she has like the neck, the full neck tattoo, and the lip, and like look at like the tattooing to make it look like eyebrows, because she also does not have eyebrows. Give her the black upper lip because I just like that look. And then did some painting on her hands, and on eBay I had found these cool gold bracers, and I found a belt buckle, and like I had a whole assortment of weapons, like small little weapons that I actually use for my they're these, I can't remember what they're called. Crap. For to draw with my body kun and body chan. I have the male and the female, but the weapons are small, and I actually bought a lot of other like assault rifles and pistols and other guns. And anyway, there was like these little this weird little thing. I don't even know what it is, but something it looks like a futuristic type of gun or something. But I made this little pocket for her and kind of just put that in there, and put another little one here, sort of like a comm badge, a communicator. And I bought the little crop top jacket and used some ribboning to make a shirt, and got her some pants and some black boots that I went ahead and did the gold to match. And she's got this long gray silver ponytail. But anyway, so this is the first one that I did for myself. That I really and I really like the way she turned out. I mean, I don't spend as much time on the ones for myself as I do for other people because I'm gonna love them regardless. Like, they're my characters and I'm, bringing them to life. And so I don't care about that as much on my end for my own stuff. But I am gonna try with the one I'm doing now to really work on them a little bit more. I'm gonna try to maybe try to use them to showcase a little bit more of like the techniques that I'm getting better at and the things that I'm trying that could be useful if somebody wanted to commission me for a different project. So like I'll have to get around sometime actually showing you more of what I have. But I have like a reborn undead tiefling type character who has her face ripped open, and then I didn't take the jaw out because I wanted there to be a support for her tongue, but like, and this is a little graphic, but if you've ever seen a picture of what happens to somebody when they lose their lower jaw and how the tongue, your tongue goes all the way down here, it connects down here farther. And so like with her and her backstory, it's like war related, during an era where there's no gods. It's like Asian, like Eastern sort of theme. So the samurai type is actually what she is a samurai. And I had it kind of like where she had gotten a laceration, like here, that caused it to sever the tongue. And so it's kind of just like hanging there, and it's hanging like out of her mouth like quite a ways. And but I did that, and I just thought it was a cool idea. But I left the jaw in there for extra support, and I'm hoping to kind of like, because she's supposed to be like charred too, and kind of blacken that in and make it look all burned and stuff, and then it'll hopefully accentuate that. But I've really tried to focus more on playing around with like the wire, like what can I do with shaping the wire that I use to make horns. Like I've made different kinds of tieflings with horns that go different ways, and I really for some reason like making ears rather large. I'm still not entirely sure what my deal is with that. Like, I'm talking like really unnecessarily large. I think it's mostly because I really like the style of like night elf ears in World of Warcraft. And so when I first started making the heads for my World of Warcraft huntress, I made her ears really long. And then I think I just sort of defaulted into that with my designs for my Dungeons and Dragons characters, because I know that like in the books and stuff like that, like their ears are not as long as like night elves, but to me, I just like them. Like this doll, she was a witch, so Cast of Fierce is a witch, so she has like these little small pointy ears already, which I thought it was just fine for an orc, half orc. I'm just kind of going around her nose, and I just did her cheekbones a little. You can just faintly, because I have a bright white page open for lighting, but yeah, right there, you can see the shading. I kind of did like there on her cheeks on both sides. And I'm working a little bit on her nose as well. I'm gonna turn the light back on. But just shading, it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of like doing makeup, or it's kind of like if you do digital art and you work on traditional art and you do portraits and character concept designs and stuff, and you are trying to do shading, or I guess even if working in like Blender or something too, for 3D modeling. It's a lot like all that. So it's, pretty useful. Like I said, it carries over into many things. I'm gonna have to get like an eraser and kind of clean it up a little bit. The dark brown is it's very fine and smudging a little bit more than I wanted to under the eye. I think, let me see. I'm taking a Ticonderoga eraser and we'll see if that kind of... But I've been really trying to get this up and running so I can work up here during the nighttime and like I want to be able to show my process because I don't like the idea of doing all the editing for YouTube videos and stuff. It's just I don't have the time for that, and I honestly don't enjoy editing videos. I'm not good with marketing myself, and I'm not gonna I don't want to do like just all the unnecessary work I feel comes with trying to get other people's attention to your videos. I feel like there's so many other people out there that are better than me anyway in this, and that's fine. But for me, it's not what I want to focus on. I really just wanted to do, stream some of my stuff so that I have it for myself, and if it helps someone else, because that's how I got into it. Is I like making my own characters. I like making my stuff become real, whether it's in cosplay or whatever. And I had done YouTube videos, and I cannot remember her name. It's Moon something. I feel so bad that I don't have the information. There's a couple of ladies that I had seen that were doing custom dolls of all different kinds, and I started just kind of learning a little bit about their process. And there's ones for sculpting too, like actually doing like clay and stuff, which I think is how I got from there to dolls, because I really liked the custom fairies and stuff, and people use enamel and other materials with wire to try to make the wings. And man, the realistic sculptures on these fantasy fairy dolls, they were like these nude, artistic, just beautiful dolls that the realism on them is just unbelievable. And it sort of led me down that I'd like to make those, and then that led to dolls, because I've done dolls. He's so bad. I am not gonna show you at the moment. First time I ever tried to make a doll, I tried to make a Link doll out of polymer clay, and it was back during a time when I was like, let me see, well, it was definitely over like 15 years ago, and it was that time I was trying to be like, oh, can I even do that at home? Can I, in a second, I'm gonna turn this down. Like, can I use my oven to bake clay and actually make it to where it makes something stable? I was just playing around and trying to see if it was even possible. And the sculpting on it is terrible. Like, I didn't even do hands. I just did like I made like a shape that looks like a mitten, and his face is terrible. It's really bad, and I just like cut off a lock of hair from a doll that I had, and I didn't really put a lot of work into it, honestly. I get impatient sometimes, and so I just, at the time, that's just what I did. And so I kept him, and his arm ended up breaking off like at the shoulder. So like he's got clothes on, but it's like it is not attached. It is just hanging in there. But that was my first time trying it. Like I said, that was 15 years ago, and then I've had kids since then, and I have my hand in so many different kinds of projects that I just haven't picked up on it, and I am tired. I don't know why so I'm sorry if I keep like having to think. So anyway, you can't really see it a whole lot right now for her, but I did the shading on her eyes and her nose and on her cheeks, just where I'm at. Just using it lightly as a guide, because then if you want to go back over any of it with paints and stuff for certain things, like right now I'm going to probably attempt to paint in some black for her. Yeah, her lips are black. And she also has, hang on a second, she has yellow, like, you know, we have the whites of our eyes. Hers are yellow. And then she actually has a red iris for her look. So, I mean, I'm going to attempt to do that. Let's see if I have a small enough. I actually just got like one of these cheap brush pack things at Michael's. I think this was because I needed some more fine brushes, and this was like $4.99 for 25 pieces. So I know some people will really focus on like the quality of their brushes, but this isn't, it's not painting as far as like canvas work and stuff. And yes, there is something to be said for like expensive brushes and tools and paints, but I feel like there also needs to be a bit of like how much of it is because of technique and because of what you're learning, and not just, you know, buying the expensive stuff. Like, you can buy all the expensive stuff in the world, and if you don't know what you're doing, you know, it's not gonna matter. Like these pastels, some people do use the very expensive pastels, and I honestly, I bought this because I couldn't find the other pastels that I have, and I bought these ones at Joann's, and I was just like, oh, they're on sale, or they weren't on sale, but I was like, I'll have a 50% off coupon, so they were like $5, and I just, oh, I didn't even put a thing on it. I just figured I would try them out and see how it worked. I mean, if it didn't work, then I was just out a couple of bucks, and I could always use them for a different kind of craft later, so I'm not too worried about it. But like I said, you know, you can put cheap materials in an artist's hands, and if they know what to do with them, or if they know, you know, different ways to use them, different things to add to them, they can still create something that's just as good, without using those expensive materials right off the bat. Because I mean, I honestly, I can't afford that. Like, I am not established enough yet as an artist to really just be blowing money on expensive art supplies. And now here and there, I really there are times when I have gone and gotten, like, if I get gift cards from my parents or family members for my birthday or Christmas or something, I'll go ahead and go out and try and see if I can drop some money on something a little bit more expensive. Like, I bought the Dr. Martens ink set a while back, and that was normally like, it was like $100, but I had a 50% off coupon. Gotta love those coupons. Use them as much as you can, and I just build my supplies over time, trying to get things here and there. I'm trying to be useful with my coupons. I shop religiously at Hobby Lobby and Michael's, Joann's, and Home Depot. I am at all those places constantly, more than my husband would care for. I really, it's more about, like, I'm just at the point where I really wish I was profiting more off of what I'm doing, instead of just, I have the potential to do anything, honestly. And I'm not saying that too, so I'm not trying to brag about myself. I've just put in a lot of time and a lot of effort into what I do, and I love what I do. But I am also, I don't put myself out there. Like, I'm doing this this is my first time doing any art on a stream, and it's not even going that well. It's not I don't even have it up so you can see exactly what I'm doing, and it's not ideal. I'm sure it's not going to catch someone's attention right away and make them want to sit here for hours, and I get that. That's okay. But I also know there's times when people just want something different, or they're just trying to find something to just spend their time watching, and maybe I'm one of those people. You just never know. But I'd really like to start getting to a point where I can do what I like for myself and also take on more commission-wise. I actually I had some digital commissions recently, like since before Christmas. Like I want to say November. Sorry, excuse me. November until about a couple weeks ago. I had some study commissions that I had from one person that wanted me to do a set of something for them. It has been a little while since I've really done anything, and part of that is, like I said, just because I don't market myself much. So, I mean, I know that's on me, but, alright, so I have these paints, like I have yellow, just cheap paint, not the expensive stuff. I have yellow, red, and black right now, and I'm going to go ahead and go in. I think I will try to start with the eyes first. So again, she's not going to have eyebrows. I'm real, like me, I'm probably going to be like, in my picture it looks fine. I am worried about how that's going to translate onto this doll. So I'm going to try to do mostly like what the shape of her eye is going to be. And I'm going to do that with the yellow, and it may take a few coats. So I'll just do that as I'm talking, and I'll try to I'll show it as I can. Let's see here. Yeah, this is going on pretty good actually. Sounds good. I have a friend who she's really good at putting herself out there, and I'm not quite sure how she does it. I feel like I don't want to. We live so close together. I don't want to in any way step on her toes, or like kind of. I don't want her to ever feel like I would be stealing jobs from her. Not saying that I could anyway, but she's really personable, and she's just really good at putting herself out there and like just really encouraging people that like, hey, I could totally do that. Like, just a very positive mentality, and I have that mentality. I'll show you a second. I just did just one light coat on. The filter's trying to go on her eye. Just one light coat right now for one eye, and that's kind of the shape I'm going for. But anyway, I admire that about her, and I've gotten that advice from other people of like, you really need to like showcase like what you can do and like advertise for yourself. And part of it is for me, like when I've ever looked for people to buy commissions from, I don't look for the person that is constantly inflating themselves and is being like, I know what I'm worth, I put it out there for this much money and it's totally worth it. Like, who sits out there and tries to sell themselves. Like, I've seen it on TikTok. People do lives and they can totally sit there and encourage people to buy their work, and they make plenty of money doing it that way. And I'm just so worried that I can't do it. Like, I think this is one of the first times I've ever just sat and talked here too, because I have a hard time with really engaging with people, like even every day. Like, I can already, like, I feel like exhausted just from trying to keep a conversation, and or even just trying to be pleasant in general it is exhausting for me, it's just how I am. So I guess that's a weakness of mine. Alright, so far, just starting to block in the second eye. And you want to try to make sure that they're as even. You're looking at the shapes. Try to get them as even as possible. She will have eyeliner and eyelashes. And anything that you mess up, you can use a little bit of like acetone or something, but I also don't want to take off the shading that I did, so that's why I try to just be really careful with what I do. Okay, so I'm gonna let that kind of dry a little bit, and I'm gonna try to go ahead and do some black on her lips for like the black lipstick that she has. And try not to do too much. I mean, I have been blessed to have people that have actually reached out and asked me to do projects. I have a neighbor who actually owns his own company, and I'm not sure, I still don't know how or why he reached out to me. I don't know if somebody said something to him, like I don't know if my husband said something, or if maybe one of my kids did, but he actually was just like on a whim asked me if I knew anybody that did digital art or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, why? Like, you know, I was just kind of like, oh, because I don't have the college experience, you know, I'm self-taught. I learn as I go. Like, I feel like I'm learning every day, and I've improved a lot over the years, but I'm definitely not, I have no college experience. And a lot of people expect that. They're like, oh, you know, what have you done? Or like, where'd you go to school? And it's like, there's plenty of artists that have even said going to art school was a waste. They end up not really using it for what they end up doing and making money anyway. They feel like it was just too structured, and they didn't actually get to focus on the things that they wanted to do when they were at school. So I don't necessarily see the degree thing as having to be a must. But with something like, you know, that, when he's like, oh, digital, I was kind of concerned about like what he was looking for. But he was looking for a bigger project for designing something for like inside at a trampoline park, and I was a little bit flabbergasted because I was like, it was like, I can do this. I can't do this. And, you know, I just kind of put myself out there and actually went through with the process, and, you know, went through the like, hey, this is what I've got, or this is what I've done, or what do you want? Actually, I went, you know, discussed it all with him and everything that I gave him, he was really happy with. Like, him and the owners, the CEOs and stuff totally approved everything that I did, and that felt really good. Like, I feel like I've accomplished that this year. Like, that's something I can say. Like, I feel proud of it. That feels weird saying, I guess. I feel proud of myself for achieving that this year. So I just need to keep going forward, and I need to keep investing in myself. And I know that. But I'm also just one of those people where I'm like, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But sometimes I think we convince ourselves we don't want something to happen, or we don't care. Well, we really do. Because we don't want to get hurt. I think it's just a defense mechanism sometimes, and I feel like maybe I'm starting to realize that maybe that's where I'm kind of at with all of it. But I love creating. I try to create with my kids all the time. I have lots of different projects I'm working on. I just need to actually like finish things and have proof of like what I am capable of, and stop just like I get so excited and I get so burned out on just like the planning process of things, and then I kind of just get to the point where I kind of can't do it anymore. But I also I'm not good at just letting it all completely go. Instead, I have to be busy, so I'll just jump to another project, and I just continuously do that over and over and over, and then I just end up feeling really lost on everything that I'm doing. And I'm home most of the time. So I have the ability to do it all. I just don't. Hang on a second. It's just a little bit off on one side. I'll show you in just a second. I just wish I was doing more. Like I get very discouraged because I'm seeing, like, I have, like, the one friend that I have, you know, she's also a mom, but she's, you know, she travels all over and does her thing, you know, for different businesses, like local businesses and stuff, and, you know, in people's houses, like personal projects, and she's always doing the same kind of stuff that I kind of wish I was doing too. Okay. Black lips. Let's see. I don't know. Oh, there we go. It's a little bit out of focus. So, because her tusks are right in the corner of her mouth, like, oh my gosh, I don't even have anything thick enough, but, like, think if you had something here, you know, it would really obstruct the corner of your mouth on both sides here. So she's really not gonna have any of her lip showing on the outside at all. Like, if anything, her tusks are a little bit too big for that. But, so she's got her black lips on. And I think the first layer of the yellow is dry. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and do another layer. Yeah, I don't know, for me, I just feel like lately I'm seeing all my projects just pile up around me, and I want so badly to get them all done. And I get motivated to, like, like with these dolls, I get motivated to just jump into it all. And I have to wait for, you know, when I'm not busy with my kids, and I don't have, you know, people just constantly around me, because I don't like being interrupted when I'm working on a project. I really love to just get into a project and work on it for hours until it's finished. I don't like having to move my stuff around, which is why I have most of my stuff set up in the basement. It's just so damn cold. It's an unfinished basement. It's so cold down there right now that I just really can't work down there. So I've been trying to do it up here, and then I had to move everything because my kid's birthday party, and I don't like moving everything because I'm one of those people where I have, like, chaotic organization. Everything's all over the place, but I, like, know where it's at. So I don't, like, I brought all this stuff downstairs, and it literally took me about a good 40 minutes to try and find all the stuff I just had out for all these dolls, just to bring it up here. Like, I misplaced, like, 2 or 3 stupid things that, like, I couldn't find these brushes. Like, I have all of my brushes downstairs in I use a toolbox, like a full, like, 3-tiered toolbox for all of my stuff. Well, most of it. And of course, these brushes that I had just had, I didn't put them all away in the toolbox. I had put them somewhere, but I couldn't remember where I put them. And so, but they're all the small brushes that I just bought that I needed for this fine detail work. So it's like, if I couldn't find them, I wasn't going to be able to do any of this tonight. So I was getting really frustrated with myself. And then, like I said, with the whole camera situation, it was a bit of a pain. That looks lumpy. Hang on. And she kind of has, I really like the look on her face. Like, she has this really wide-eyed, expressive look. But I'm really, I'm still trying to stay within the eyebrow arch portion, because your eyeballs are not going to pop outside of your, at least they should not pop outside of your eyebrow bone. If they do, please go see a doctor, because that is not okay. So you got to stay within your structural limitations too, with what makes sense. I don't want her to look, like, goofy, and I'm trying to actually make her look decent, and so I'm not gonna go too crazy. Which I haven't really pushed the boundaries on the sculpts of some of these dolls yet, so I don't really know what, I guess if you want to play around with that and find out if it looks good, you're more than welcome to do that on your own stuff, of course. I never even thought to ask if, I guess nobody's here anyway, but like if the volume and the music is okay. I don't even remember which one I'm using, and one of them, they're both through Twitch. One of them, it gave me like a strike for not copyright music or whatever. Like it muted like a good 40 minutes of one of my videos because of a copyright strike thing. And as far as I know, both of these Soundstripe and Soundtrack, Twitch Soundtrack. As far as I know, both of them say that you can use them freely and not have any issues with that, but I guess not, or I'm doing something wrong, which is the other thing I struggle with. Okay. So these look pretty good right now. She has, I think I did about 2, almost 3 coats. She does not have, I'm trying to think of how big I want her irises to be. I think I want to make them smaller like they are in the picture, because normally with like a doll, like, well, this one has decent size, like medium irises. These ones aren't too bad. These ones are red too, I forgot. She has pretty good size, just normal. You know, I feel like the size of the irises, it's kind of like when you are drawing character tropes. Usually the protagonists or the happy, super cute anime type girls, the ones that, you know, are the good guys, usually have the bigger, wider, very pretty eyes. This character's not evil, but you know, the characters that are more stronger personalities or lean towards chaotic or villain types, they generally tend to give them the smaller pupil or the narrowing of the eyes. It's just a way that we've kind of defined features for a certain trope or a certain character role, if you will. So for us in our minds, because we see it so much in TV and movies and everything, you see a character with these features, your brain automatically reads it as like good guy or bad guy, or like, you know, when someone has like a round make sure I didn't just draw on my face, has more rounded facial features, or very sharp features, like think of like the movie Jafar, or movie Aladdin. Think of Jafar. He's like very angular and sharp features, versus like Jasmine, where is very rounded. You know, the Disney princess look is very rounded. And I actually have some books that talk about that for learning to do character concept art or illustration, comic illustrations and stuff. It talks about shapes and how shape language, there you go, and how important that is when you're designing a character. And like I said, this character she's not evil by any means. She's actually I think I wrote her as like the folk hero type. Her background is sort of like oh, I don't have her sheets on the floor. She's sort of like, I'm trying to remember. She was, you know, tragic backstory, like she was orphaned or abandoned or something, I can't remember. Was taken in at an orphanage, basically, as like they let her stay there so she would be like a farmhand and would help with cleaning and that kind of stuff. And they let her stay there and they fed her, of course. And over time, she kind of just became just the one that did everything there, but also helped all the kids. Like, she grew up with a lot of the kids, and she, help teach the kids about cleaning and let them work alongside her outside. And like she's just sort of reads like this very quiet but stoic and like very useful person who has very good intentions, who's like been very misunderstood, considering her race. And where like she grew up, she was generally hated just because she was different, because she's half orc or whatever. And so like I think in her story I had it to where she, as she got older and she was trusted to go out and gather certain things from like neighboring towns and farther off, they had a night where a group of village men or whatever under the tyrant's orders was hoping to basically just destroy her home and kill her while she was there in the middle of the night. So they like barricaded the doors and windows of the orphanage and set it on fire. And she wasn't there though. She was out gathering supplies from a neighboring town to bring back to the orphanage, sort of like resupplying, like she would trade certain crops that they have to bring them and get other things that they could use, as I'm sure they, did in the bartering societies. And then she came back, it was already too late to, like, she tried to put out the fire and salvage what she could or who she could, but nobody survived. And for that, I don't know why I do gravitate towards the traumatic backstory, like for me, a soft spot for me is kids. I don't like the idea of anybody suffering, let alone kids. So if like someone having something like that happen to them, that especially they experienced hate or mistreatment or abuse because they're different, just because of someone else's evil, and affected them in such a big way that it kind of defines her personality. And I really feel like I do have a lot of characters that are like that. It's very hard for me to step outside of that. I have that hero mentality of the wanting to be the person that gives someone a way out or saves someone from whatever's been holding them back their whole lives, or whatever. But anyway, so she's has that folk hero background, and she's a fighter, if I remember correctly. We only play on Saturdays, and like we played last week, but like it's been with everybody being sick, and we had to switch out DMs from one campaign to another campaign because of the Ukraine situation, and one of our DMs is in the military still and stuff. So it's been a little bit of like trying to figure out where we've been, because we picked this campaign back up after we were trying on a new Blades in the Dark game, trying something different outside of D&D, and we had to kind of put that on hold. Anyway, so I'm going to try. This is the tricky part for me. So your eyes, I don't want them to just like stare forward. Like I kind of want to give them a personality or some kind of emotion. So like some of them you kind of like have their eyes up and off to the side, like I did with this one here. So she's got her eyes kind of up, just kind of like thinking off to the side sort of, and it just gives it a little bit more personality than just staring dead ahead, like expressionless. For her, in her picture, she does have her eyes pointed down, like she's like sort of kind of mentally broken. Now, I'm not saying she's crazy, but she has her moments where when she's enraged or triggered, that she gets those crazy eyes. So that's where I kind of had her head tilted with her eyes looking down. So I think I want to attempt that. Like I said, if you mess up, You can use acetone to remove what you have done, but then I'd have to redo the yellow and stuff, so I'm going to try really hard not to mess up all the yellow that I did. I wonder if I should turn this off again. There you go. So I'm going to try to have both of her pupils looking down and more to the right for this doll, and I'm making them smaller, like I said, because her eyes are wide open, but her pupils are still not, her irises are not very large. Oh, hi! I'm glad. I love art too. It is very therapeutic. Thank you for stopping in. I'm trying to, this is actually my first time doing an art stream, and my DSLR camera battery died, so I can't show everything that I'm doing, but I still figured I'd get on and try to give it a go. So, working on a custom doll for myself that, for a Dungeons & Dragons character that I have, so trying to go ahead and get these eyes in here carefully. And I try to always do them small, and then you can always make them a bit bigger if you don't, if you think they're too small. But if you go too big at first, it is a little harder to undo that. So just take your time if you're doing it yourself. Just making circles, like your pupils are, your irises are the same size on both sides. I believe that is true. I don't believe anybody has, I'm sure there's probably an exception, but you usually don't have one small iris and one really large iris. It's just not how most of us are. If you are the exception to that, though, I apologize. It's not my goal to offend anybody. Okay, this will look cool. So she's gonna, I'm gonna build a little more around. I think I want them a little bit bigger than this, but it is going in the right direction at least. And like I did with that other doll, she had a black outline around. She has a black outline around her irises. Yeah, it looks really nice. So I don't quite know if I'm gonna do that yet with this one or not. Guess we will. Ooh, I almost just painted on her. I'm gonna be careful. Oh, and it's like that. Like I just took my glasses off because they were in my way, but at the same time, it's kind of not as easy to see with them off, so. But yeah, this is going the right way, so. Oh, stupid filters trying to put eyelashes on her. And this is a nice bright red too. I'm glad I picked this one because the other one that I had at first was it was more like a brownish red, so it wouldn't have gone with what I was kind of looking for. And then after this dries, we'll go ahead and I'll just dot in the pupils and see like kind of how that looks. I think these are probably gonna be too small to really outline the black, so that is okay. And then we'll try to see about putting on some eyelashes, and maybe I'll like it more, because I'm still unsure about the lack of eyebrows on this orc, this half orc. But like I think like all the artwork I was looking at for a lot of ideas. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I worked really hard on her. For, like I said, it was for a Star Wars tabletop game, my character, and so think of like Darth Maul from Star Wars, and that was the first one I really ever did, and she turned out better than I thought she was. So but yeah, this one will be hopefully, I think, the simplest of all of the dolls that, like I said, I have these shelves just loaded with dolls waiting for me to work on them. I love Darth Maul. With the little bit of screen time he got in the movie, and I didn't really read the books, but I do like him. I have a couple of statues of him over there, and I was like, oh, I have to make one of those. And I like the Darth Talon look, but I wanted to make one that had a different, I didn't want to just copy and paste, so I did my best. So thank you. Yeah, these dolls I believe will get progressively harder as I attempt to do more things. So, but if I can use them to showcase what I can do, and then other people want more dolls, then that would be great. I have definitely plenty of dolls downstairs to do more. I did a Morticia Adams and Gomez Adams set for a friend of mine. She commissioned me to do those a while back, and like I make everything from scratch. Like I made her long black lace gown and like his little cigar, and I remolded all the hair for him and rerouted Morticia's hair, and even just for her, at no extra cost to her, I went ahead and bought like one of those cool black like lanterns, and I kind of used it to make this gazebo to put them in, and it fit perfectly. She loved it. It was so cool. Thank you. Oh, you can tell it's him. It is blurry. Yeah, it is Itachi. I have these smaller posters over here. I have Itachi and Madara and Kakashi, and I have Levi. I have so much crap in my room. It's terrible. My kids love it though. I think they love it sometimes. They just think mom's messy, but yeah. I still have yet to get my hands on a good Itachi figure though. I saw somebody somewhere had like one confirmed that they were going to be releasing, and then they took it off, and I was a little bit surprised. I think it was Box Lunch. So I don't know what happened with that, but I was hoping to snag one of those. So I guess we'll have to see. I was actually surprised to find the poster, like just walking out shopping at like I want to say Five Below or something. And I saw it and I was like, no way. So I went ahead and snagged it. It's funny when I find stuff like that at places like you just wouldn't think you'd find it. But I guess since it's, grown in popularity more and more, it's showing up in just weird places. It makes me happy because I don't have to spend as much money on that. Oh, thanks. I had cool parents growing up. Like my dad was the Trekkie and loved Star Wars and had just tons of comics, like was into X-Men and everything, and like that's how I started drawing. Like when I was a kid, I would just sit down and grab like a comic book and try to draw like Rogue or Storm or Wolverine or whoever, and just draw from them. I just loved doing that. And my mom was into video games, and so like she was the one who was obsessed with Zelda. Like I was born the same year that Zelda came out, and she was obsessed with it. And so like you can't see, but everything behind me here and there, it's all Zelda stuff. But I got that from her, and I got that from my dad, and so it was kind of a perfect storm. And I loved having nerdy parents, parents that weren't just boring, and I don't know. I consider myself lucky. Gave me that, like my mom always loved making my mom always loved making our Halloween costumes from like curtains and stuff, and like so like my cosplaying, I think, like wanting to make my own costumes and stuff, I think the love of that grew from my mom doing that kind of stuff when I was a kid, and it was always fun. My parents didn't have boring interests. I don't know how some parents nowadays, man. Like, I just don't get into, like, the drama TV shows. It's just like, ugh. Like, my little kid, she... Thanks. Yeah. Even nowadays, like, we still, like, that's just the stuff that we're interested in. And my siblings, too. But, like, my little kid, she just turned 9. I feel like she's going down the same she's got the same interests as me. Like she's always drawing, and she just asked if she could make a doll, and so like we made a doll together, like one of these dolls that was based off the character she came up with, and she watches some. I don't really let her watch a lot of anime yet because, like, for me, like, I love anime. I love the quirky, weird, inappropriate stuff and the humor that's in it, and like, I don't really care. I'm an adult, you know, whatever. But like, when I think about some of the shit that I watched as a kid, I'm like, I probably should be a little bit more careful what I let my kids watch. So I'm trying to hold off just a little bit and letting them get into some stuff. But I have a feeling they'll be right there with me. Yeah. Well, we do our best with what we've been given, you know. Like, well, I don't have mom friends and stuff because they're all so. Everybody is so like, let's go drink wine, and everybody where I live, they're all honestly rich, you know. So it's, which I'm not poor, but I mean, I don't. Money is not like, you know, to be flaunted, in my opinion. But like all the moms, they all dress the same. They're all perfectly manicured and beautiful, and they just all want to drink and talk about like these boring ass TV shows. And I'm just like, doesn't anybody want to talk about video games? Like, can we play Call of Duty? Can we talk about, like, I'd love to have a group of people that I could go to an anime convention with. And it's just like, anybody that has those interests, they're all online and everybody's all across the country, and it's just always like kind of sad. I don't know. Or like my other friend, she's in Canada. Well, it's a whole other country away. Oh, thanks. Yeah, well, I don't plan on changing anytime soon, so it's kind of, you know, I think better end of the deal, honestly. Now my kids are into Fortnite though, you know, as younger kids are. I mean, because their friends are and stuff too. So it's funny because we'll all sit down and we'll play Fortnite together. And my kids, man, it's the first time I ever played with them, it cracked me up because my littler one, like I said, she is the one she's sneaky, and she likes to just sneak up on people. My other one, she she very much likes to just go in right away, but then she just likes to run off. And it's like, you have to work as a team. And it's funny because, like, I think they were playing together last time, and the other one just ran in and she shot somebody, and they were down, but then she got shot, so she was gonna die. And as soon as the person went to go in and finish her off, my little one just steps out behind from the building and just shoots the crap out of him. But she's like that, and it's funny, and she's just like, yeah! And I'm like, oh, they probably get it because, like, their rooms are here, and they hear me and hear, I swear a lot when I'm playing video games. I really shouldn't, but yeah, it's funny when I play with my kids and watch them just, like, shake people down and be like, you gotta shoot them, you gotta do this, and it's just like, man, I didn't have that exact gaming experience as a kid, you know, because we didn't have that on, you know, console games. But it's funny. I love it, honestly. They are so into it, and I don't know. I try very hard not to, like, I do hold some of that back, you know, just like because it's never my goal to embarrass my kids. I don't, like, for myself, I don't care what people think about me, but I don't ever want my kids to be like, all these people talk about my mom, she's so embarrassing. And so I'm trying to, like, let it out a little at a time just for their benefit, because I am full on gung-ho weird, and I'm okay with it. So I don't want them to hate me. Because as much as I loved my mom and my dad, there were times when I was like, oh man. Like, I think for Halloween one time, my dad came to school dressed as Batman, and I'm in, like, full costume, and I was like, it was cool for the first few minutes, and then everybody kept talking about it and bringing it up, and it was just like, oh wait, stop. I agree. I do agree. But, like, I don't know. Like I said, it's just, I wish there was more people like me in this community. Not that I'm amazing, but I mean, I think I'm not boring. Alright. Making progress. But thank you for the encouragement. I really appreciate that, though. I mean, especially being a mom, sometimes I feel like, especially my kids are like, like, they're not super old. They're not teenagers yet. So I've went through a lot of years of being like, oh man, like, I don't even know, like, who I am. And I'm still in that phase, you know, trying to feel what can I do and still, like, express myself, but still be the parent. And so it's kind of discouraging sometimes. So I appreciate just any little bit of encouragement. It is fun. I feel like I'm a fun parent, and my kids love crafting and they love, you know, doing this stuff too. And so to me, I really hope it helps, like, kind of counter all the crap that kids got to deal with nowadays, like the social media pressures and everything that come with, I don't know, just all of it. It's so overwhelming. I feel like having good, healthy outlets will be key, and, you know, hopefully keeping them in a healthier place mentally. So I think it's important for everybody, even as adults. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Or like, and now everybody just relies on social media for so much of it that they kind of either just, everybody is just always either just trolling each other and screaming at each other, or they're just like, yeah, I get it. And God, it's just so much to navigate. And I think that, like, some people just really, like me, I don't usually talk this much about, you know, myself. Like, I feel like either people don't care, which is fine. I mean, there's so many things going on with everybody. Sometimes I think we kind of shut it all off because it's just so much. Like, I can't. I get so overwhelmed with, like, I have so many friends that are struggling mentally, and there's so many things going on in the world, and then it's like you see stories that are just so heartbreaking. It's just like, man, oh, I just broke my brush. No. Dang it, I did. But yeah, I think some of us just try to, like, I think I'm at the point where I'm trying to stay in tune with, like, what's going on, but I'm trying very much to just block out a lot of stuff, because it's just, I don't want to be any more sad than I already feel, you know. Especially during all the COVID crap, man, people were really, like, it was getting really close for some people where it was like, I don't know how much more I can take. Me, luckily, I, you know, have crafting as an outlet, and I really think that that's a lifesaver in a lot of respects. But yeah, it's not that I don't care, because I care too much, like I said. I Yeah, it's sad. Like, I wish I could do more, like, to help people. I really do. And a lot of times, since I can't, that's how I come up with all these characters that have the hero mentality of wanting to save everybody and being the good guy. So, well, that's the best I can do right now. Her eyes, I'll just show you a second so I make sure. Well, you can't even really see them because of the blurriness. The pupils are on there, so I'm going to attempt to do the eyeliner and the eyelashes, but I do appreciate you stopping in, though. I mean, like, I usually don't have anybody stop in, and it's just kind of nice to be able to chat with someone. It's good practice for me, too, because, like I said, I usually don't. I'm not good at it. It is. It is cathartic. It is very good. Ugh, there's sometimes you get too, yes, I do. I get too, like, I'm very, like, my mood affects my ability to want to create things. So, like, if my mood is just terrible, like, there's times when I can't even get myself to work on the stuff that I love because I feel like I'm gonna mess it up, which really sucks when I actually get commissions, because I get so scared that I'm like, oh no. And I think I kind of shoot myself in the foot because I'm wanting so hard to make it so good that it ends up taking me longer to work on stuff, and it's just like, need to get in a good healthy rhythm of, like, doing things on a regular basis so that it's like a normal. Yeah, it's, does the music shut off? What the heck? I don't even think that's working. There you go. Thank you though. Yeah, I try. I think I always have a pretty positive outlook about things regardless of what's going on. I don't really see the point in being negative. I feel like it's always going to make things worse. So, like, why do that to yourself or to other people anyway? So, even if I'm having a really crappy day, or weeks or months, I just still try to just look for the silver lining. I'll make the silver lining if I have to, you know? I guess that's probably what a lot of my art is. Gosh. I try really hard not to. Hi, Gage. I have a viewer. So now I have 2 viewers. Gadget is a good friend of mine. Someone who I haven't got to hang out with much recently. Gonna guilt trip you, Gadget. Sorry, when I'm trying to do this, like I'm trying not to breathe, so I don't. If I breathe, it's gonna go all over her face. Oh yeah, gotta guilt trip just a little bit. Although to be fair, Gadget, a lot of times I'm available. Y'all too busy watching your TV shows. I'll guilt trip him. It's okay. Shoot. Kinda did a little bit more than I wanted to in the corner here, but that's okay. Yeah, this is the first one I'm trying to actually paint. Like, I've tried to get my camera and crap set up, and my camera died right when I went to start working on it. So, yeah, I'm trying to work on the first one. The one for one of the campaigns we have right now. Shit. I don't know. I was showing him, though, the one that I did for our Star Wars campaign. Gadget was in a campaign too. Had a Wookiee, right? Or did you not have a Wookiee? No, did. I can't remember. Both y'all had hairy creatures. Kind of wish we could have done more with that one, so Mio could have kept playing too. I think this will turn out really good, even though she doesn't have eyebrows. I don't know why, it just weirds me out. Yeah, I can't remember what race yours was though. Ooh, and painting on eyelashes is not the easiest. It takes practice. Like, there's people that can do it on their own faces, and mine still just turn up so bad. I have the notes somewhere. I'll have to look. What have you been up to, Gadget? You've been working your butt off? Hey. doll upside down, so you're gonna see some doll booty for for a minute. I don't know why that's funny. I apologize. Now I'm gonna laugh so that I can't draw. Oh, my Lanta. Alright, hold on. I think I'm far funnier than I am. Gadget, you know that better than anybody else, probably. I did hear from Mike today, by the way. He's alive. I think he's just getting busy with spring break coming up. Face down. Sorry if you don't like swearing, by the way. It happens. It happens. I try not to be excessive with it, though. Unless I'm in the gaming mindset, and it's... Sometimes you never know. Oh, Gadget. Man, I was having a conversation with somebody else. I don't remember when it was. Man, and I mentioned they typed wrong, and they typed stroke face, and I mentioned it, and they had no idea what I was talking about, and I was just over here dying, because I'm just like, oh, it's the wrong people, they don't understand. Oh, it's so funny. Oof. See, you never get bored if you can keep yourself entertained. I know. Like, I don't know what else I don't know what else anybody wants to play, though. Like, it's just the only thing. Like, I know we played... I think it was a month ago, we played Jackbox with Ark and... Whew. But, I don't know, nobody wants to really play Overwatch. No, my PC's not in the basement. My PC's still up here. But all of my art stuff's in the basement. So this is why I'm trying to, like, here, I'll show you a second. I have all of my, I brought up, like, this little table. Like, one of them TV tray things. So I'm trying to work up here because it's so... it's so cold in my basement right now. My basement's unfinished. But I just wish it was warmer down there, and I wish... my PC's hardlined it up here to my router or whatever, and then we have the other one downstairs. But then one more floor down is the basement, and my reception, my internet connection down there is just terrible. So I can't stream from, like, my phone. So it kind of sucks. It's like literally all, like, my whole basement set up to just have all of our, like, most of our art stuff down there. Okay, how many eyelashes did I give her? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I always do this though when I'm doing my own eyeliner. I cannot keep them even though, like, I'll have one going straight out this way and then the other one will be up more, and I'm just like, damn it! Should try, like, those sticker things or whatever, but I don't know. I just figure I should just be good at it by now, or maybe just give up. Maybe they'll make technology to where I walk around with full face filters on all the time. Or I'll just get to that point where I just stop caring. It's probably going to be the first thing that happens. Oof. Yeah, if you ever want to play something, just let me know, man. I mean, I don't really know what you've been playing lately. I haven't really been on video games much at all. Like, I haven't touched Call of Duty. I've played a little bit of Fortnite with my kids, but it's been a couple weeks. But, I'm not gonna give up. I just, I say that because, like my hair, so, like, my hair is, I've been letting it grow out. Like, it is long now. But my hair was damaged for, like, a really long time because I had bleached it and I colored it. Like, my hair was this purple and pink color, and it's been blue and it's been orange, it's been every color. But I've been trying to let my hair grow out and be healthy, and so I've been trying to limit how many chemicals I put in my hair and how often I use heat tools and, you know, trying to be careful about what kind of shampoo I use that doesn't have all the crap in it. So my hair, considering my age, I mean, I'm 36, all of my gray is starting to show so bad. And, like, I feel like I was getting looks the other day from certain people, like, just judgy looks. And I'm just like, you know what? I miss my colored hair so much. I really do. Like, I saw someone the other day had it like that really hot pink fuchsia, and I got such bad hair and yeah, I agree, screw those people, mind your own business. But yeah, I'm trying to grow my hair out because I want it long again. But I saw somebody with that hair and I was just like, oh man, I miss it so much. I don't know, who knows, maybe I'll end up doing it again. I just don't want to cut it all off again. Because the first time I went through and colored my hair like that, I ended up having to cut it really short because my hair got like gummy to the point where I couldn't dry it, and this was years ago. So I got an undercut, all shaved. I had like an angular. I weaved out and went for like a Levi style haircut with a little bit longer in the front. Aww. No, it wasn't him. It wasn't him. But, yeah, so anyway, I'm trying not to kill my hair, because I like my long hair, and I was stupid, and I also cut my hair to have bangs. Like, I don't know why I do that. I'm one of those emotional people where I'm just like, I'll just do something to my hair, and I was like seriously considering cutting it, and I'm like, I need to not do that. I know I need to not do that, so what can I do? And I'm like, I'll just cut my bangs. When I keep it back like this, it's not a big deal, which it's back pretty often. But it's like the bangs look just a little bit wonky enough to where I really should go to the salon and get them fixed. But I'm too cheap. I'm not gonna go to the salon just to get my bangs fixed. Oh, I'm my worst enemy, I swear. I got 2 eyelashes on here. 1, 2, 3. Man, I haven't even... Oh, it makes me so sad. I haven't even cosplayed in forever. Because, like, there's been no conventions. Or, like, if there have been, I haven't been able to go. I mean, I can just keep doing my crap here at home. Honestly. Yeah. No. I try to limit that, though, because I feel like so often I'm very much doing that, and then I get mad at myself, so... But that's how I end up just resorting to being like, I'm gonna go get pizza, like, so I just rely on food now as my emotional trigger, which has not been helping during the COVID season. So yes. This light is shining right on her eyebrow, just to where I cannot tell how thick this is. Can I not tell how thick this is? As long as you're making healthy, impulsive decisions, it's okay. Don't go out and just blow thousands of dollars and stuff, man. Thank you! She got the bed set for her birthday, and it's like tie-dye, and she loves like the bright neon colors and like the pastel and stuff. And me, I remember like, yeah, pizza's everything. I'm getting pizza for lunch tomorrow. Okay, side note. We were all discussing dinner, and they're all like my youngest one, she's sick right now, so she just wanted soup. And then my husband and my other daughter were like, I want to get a burger, I want to get Chick-fil-A, and I'm like, yo, I want pizza. Like, I always want pizza, though. I think that's just like my go-to food. I don't think I'll ever be unhappy with pizza unless it's Domino's. But, so I was like, I'm gonna get pizza tomorrow for lunch, and there's not gonna be any arguing about it. Putting my foot down. What was I saying? But yeah, so the dresser thing, she loves the bright colors and everything, and so like, I let Liv do her room recently because she had some stuff going on at school, just kids and stuff, just stress and stuff going on at school, and I was just like, you know what? I need to teach her, like, what are healthy coping mechanisms? Like, what's something you can control? You know, what are things that make you like? Yeah, it's not good. I could have told you that. It's like cardboard. But I was trying to think of like, you know, hey, how can I express to her, you know, like, hey, what can you have control over when you're in a bad mood, or like when you're just having a rough time? Like I said, art, you know, to me is one thing. Like creating, like she's been really playing a lot of her instruments lately, like the piano and her guitar and stuff, which I think's good. But like changing your surroundings, like, you know, maybe you do need to, like, I talked to my husband and I was like, you know, why don't we like give her some stuff to like to like kind of spruce up her room, because she's been asking if she could, like, you know, get different curtains and like, you know, paint her dresser, because their dresser was brown and most of her other furniture is white, and you know, she got a different bed set and all this stuff. So we talked about it and we surprised her and got her a bunch of stuff to redo her room, and she wanted like black and white with like light pink and gold. And, you know, I figured it would surprise her, and it really helped her that week. I think she really needed it. And so then my younger one, she wanted a room, you know, spruced up a bit too, and I was like, that's fine. I said, we might have to wait until after spring break to kind of buy some stuff for your room, like new curtains and stuff. Thank you. Yeah, you know, especially nowadays, mental health is a really, you can't get away from it. Either you're going to be affected by it greatly, or you're going to know someone who is. And sometimes being around people that are affected by it greatly, it ultimately affects you. So, like I said, you know, I'm trying to really help my kids. I'm trying to give them tools the best I can to how to help themselves. Honestly, because I figure if they have the tools, they'll be able to do the thinking and the problem solving. Or, you know, like I really try to make sure I talk to my kids. And like even when I'm mad, like my biggest thing, I'm a hothead. Like I go from being fine to being completely enraged in like a half a second. Like I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking about it. Like it's a weakness of mine that I know I have. Like it is something I am not proud of, and it's something I very much try to protect my kids from. So I'm that person that like when I feel myself getting mad, I shut down. Like I get quiet and I distance myself a bit, and then I explain to them, you know, like mommy just needs some time. I need to go chill for a bit or something, and I try to explain it to them, and then I try to talk to them and just tell them like, hey, you know, I was really upset that you said this or that this happened, you know, and I just feel like, you know, and just talk it out. Or if it's, you know, on them, my kids have gotten to the point where, and I'm not saying I'm a perfect parent by any means, but my kids will be like, Mom, like I was really mad that you said this, or that like you told me I couldn't do this, and I feel like you're being really unfair. My kids are talking to me. Not every parent can say that, and I hope that it never gets to the point where they stop talking to me. But like at the moment, you know, I'm happy with, you know, as much as I am struggling to give my kids healthy tools, it's important and it's working, and I'm okay that I have to struggle for that. Yeah, and it's hard, man. Like I mean, I'll be honest, I grew up like my parents. We didn't really talk a lot, honestly. Like I did get yelled at a lot. There was some unhealthy stuff there, and I just feel like we never really communicated healthy. And so I didn't want that for my kids. I didn't want that feeling of like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't ever want my kids to feel like alone, or like they didn't have somebody who was on their side, because that sucks. Thank you very much. You know, nobody's perfect, man, but it's like, even when I tell my kids, like, I'm not perfect. Like, my kids know that, and I'm willing to admit that, though. I'm not trying to power trip my kids and, you know, be a dick to my kids, man. I don't want to traumatize them. So that's more important to me. Oh, this is close to looking exactly like even, but it's getting there. Slowly, surely. Like I said, I can't really paint it if I'm talking, so I'm balancing it the best I can. But anyway, but yeah. So my kid, she's been struggling lately, and I've been really trying to talk to her, and she's been taking on more stuff. Like she's in 5th grade, and for me, it's very hard because, like, I grew up like learning how to be a strong female and learning how to take care of myself and protect myself. Like I was in martial arts for 19 years. Like I always had this, I couldn't get picked on because I didn't let myself get picked on. It wasn't an option. You know, I got in trouble for being the one to stand up for everybody else all the time. That's the only time I ever got in trouble, was for standing up for other people, like protecting them. I was never a troublemaker, and I was never a popular kid, but I also didn't give a crap what other people thought about me. Like, yeah, there was times when crap hurt, you know, like, I remember, I think I had one time with this kid in, like, 7th or 8th grade. They were like, oh, nobody would want to date you because they know they can't mess with you. And I know what they meant. Like, I know it was a compliment. Like, oh, you know, like, nobody could ever, like, take advantage of you or, like, you know, pull something on you, like sexual assault or some crap, you know, like kids do. So I took that as a compliment, but at the same time, I'm like, kind of sucks. A little bit. I don't know. So, but I'm trying to raise kids that are nice. My kids are very kind. My kids are very sweet, and they have a hard time with, like, somebody will say something mean to them and it like breaks their heart. And I was talking to her yesterday, one of my kids, and she's like, you know, so and so is going to be at practice, and she hasn't been being very nice to me. And I'm like, well, you know, I said, tell her. I said, just ask her, what is your problem? You know, why do you feel the need to, you know, this, and this? And she doesn't ever want to feel like she's hurting someone's feelings. And I'm trying so hard to, like, teach them to stand up for themselves, but also not, you know, I don't want the kid running around just being a dick to everybody either. So, but I'm trying not to impress too much of myself on them, because I am very much not the nice. I'm nice and I'm the tough love person. Exactly. Oh. And the thing is, too, that I felt kind of bad about. So, like, we went to parent-teacher conferences, and the kids had these things in the hallway, like, I don't think it was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I think it's like, what do you hope will happen when you graduate or something? Exactly. Respectfully. Beat someone's ass. I'm a no BS person, so I feel that. But, so the girl, I know who it is. She, like, they had their little things, like, what they want to be, and I think my kid put down, like, she wanted to volunteer working at the zoo with animals or something, because she's like, can I do that as a job? And I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. We're close to downtown. But anyway, the girl in question, her thing was on the wall, and she was like, by the time she graduates or something, she hopes her parents would be back together again. But I'm like, that sucks. You know, and I've explained that to my kids. I'm like, a lot of times other kids act out because they have shit going on at home. Oh, I didn't say shit to my kid, of course. But I'm like, you know, we have to understand. We have to understand people and have patience with other people. But we don't tolerate. We don't tolerate other people being abusive to us, or, you know, treating us in a way that isn't respectful, because you don't deserve that. But no, I do feel bad for this kid. I know her parents just got divorced and stuff's been rough, but man, don't come after my kid. You are playing with fire at that point, and you don't even realize it. Cause I'll be the parent that'll run up in there and tell her, I'll be like, hey, stop being an asshole to my kid. I'll say it, I don't care. I really don't. It won't all matter once they're adults anyway. They'll just appreciate that I cared enough, right? At least that's what I'm betting on. No, I know. And I mean, I had friends when, going to school growing up that, I had friends that were cutters or got into drinking or smoking and doing other things at younger age because they had screwed up family lives too. Like that stuff's all still there. Like it's not gonna go away, but you gotta. That is no excuse to just be a bully. Like I have no tolerance for bullying. My kid is not gonna be one that becomes suicidal because somebody else's kid can't keep their mouth shut. Not happening. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. They don't like me very much. And that's fine. I think I'm the parent that goes to because she's in lacrosse and they're both in lacrosse. And I'm the mom who's like, go! Like I'll be out there just cheering and yelling and whatever, and maybe she's jealous because neither one of her parents are there, or I don't know. Alright. Alright, also quick, this is a Jelly Roll, the white pen. I'm gonna use that for the highlights on her eyes, in case anybody cares. Because for some reason this pen works really well on top of paint. But yeah, it's funny because when last year they were like, oh, who wants to, we need parent volunteers and, who wants to help coach? And I'm like, not doing it. Because I am the parent I will be hard on my child and I will make it probably to where she doesn't enjoy doing sports anymore, and I don't want to do that to her. Yeah, I might have ordered it off of Amazon, honestly. These were like the thing back in the day, and I am almost positive there was a mint lime green one that I had in 7th grade in math class that I was chewing on, and it exploded in my mouth. Ink does not taste good, but my tongue was all green. It was this color, and it was like pouring onto my desk and onto my hands, and my math teacher's just like, go to the bathroom. That was the first and only time I ever chewed on a pen, man. And that teacher was not nice. He was not happy with me. Man. It was embarrassing though. I kept to myself at school, I tried to be low key, but kind of couldn't avoid that one. So it's kind of funny. It's all funny now. Oh my gosh, this is not. Hang on. Keep drawing on myself, but oh, it's a paper towel. I can't see white on that. Let's see. Probably will get as far as doing like the face. I probably won't get into the clothes and stuff tonight, but hey, we can save it for another time. And I'll plan on. I'm still gonna take pictures of everything that I do once they're done, and they'll go on my DeviantArt if anybody wants to see how they turn out at the end. So clearly, these cameras are not very good for focusing on. Ooh, getting a good shot of what it looks like. I'll try to see if I can. Oh, let me turn the white off again. There we go. So, unless you don't want to zoom in, you can't even see the white dots. Hey, you have sleep out. Tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Today was my kids' last day of school actually because they start spring break tomorrow. But no, it would be next week normally. Because we had our sleep out this week. I don't remember what we watched. Oh, we watched Hook again. I love that movie. But we're actually Sunday, Monday at like 3 o'clock in the morning. We're actually gonna try to take our kids down to Virginia. Show them where they were born and like, where we lived. And Cherry Blossom Festival is supposed to be going on till like mid-April. And of all the times we lived down there, we never went. So I know like cherry blossoms are in full bloom. Yes, we can play something tomorrow if you'd like. But so I'll be gone Monday till Friday at least, I think. What's the coolest? The Cherry Blossom Festival? We've always seen the cherry blossoms down there because they're everywhere down there, but I want to go to DC. Like my kids, when we lived down there, they were too little. Like they don't remember going to the museums or any of the monuments and stuff, and I don't even know if they'll let us like take a picture by the White House or anything. But oh, thank you. I try. No, we were we don't really do much for like spring break. Like I never did growing up. Like my parents both of them worked, so I never really did much. I did something one time, and that was because my mom worked hard enough and saved up enough money that when my martial arts organization, they had organized a trip to go to China for a week, and it was like a week and a half considering flight and stuff. I did go to that, so I was able to go to China for a week, which I'm very grateful for, and I love that I got to go. I don't ever foresee myself going back now with just how things are going, which is really sad, but I loved that I did that. And we never really did anything for like spring break and stuff, so it's like my kids ask, and it's something I have to really work to remember to plan something. And everybody's like, oh, we're going to Gulf Shores, or we're going to Florida, or whatever, Disney. And I was thinking about going down and surprising my friend, because our friend Mike, works down in North Carolina. But I was like, wouldn't that be funny if I just showed up? Just pop in for the week. I'm sure he'd appreciate that actually more than anything, but it would just be funny. I would do that to my friends, so I don't just like popping in on people because I don't like people doing that to me. But yeah, we're trying to think of something not super expensive that would still be fun to do, and I still don't know what everybody's restrictions are with like COVID and stuff, so I don't know what all is gonna be not allowed to get into and stuff, so we'll have to look. But it's supposed to be like mid to high 60s all week down there, and I think there's a little bit of rain expected 1 or 2 days, but nothing too bad, so I am hoping the weather is nice. Hoping. You can go. He's gonna be busy. He's today when I talked to him, I said, you've been really busy with doubles and stuff, and he was like, the last 2 weeks I only wear, what did he say? What's a free-for-all? I'm looking a second because he said the last 2 weeks were only 160 hours. Not bad. And I'm like, what? That's a lot! Am I wrong? That's a lot, right? That's a lot of hours to be working. Jeez Louise. 160 hours. You gotta be out of your mind. That's 80 hours a week, right? Oh. I hope so. We haven't, like, everything got pretty much lifted. Like, honestly, I think the only place we ever have to be asked to wear a mask is the orthodontist, I think. The orthodontist, I think, they ask you to wear one. But the dentist doesn't. I'm sure the hospitals probably do. Whoa, that's weird. I just looked and, like, the texts are different colors on the Streamlabs thing and then on Twitch. Like, I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, he is a workaholic, though. Him and his wife both work at the same place. And so I don't don't know, they just work their butts off, especially when it's busy like this. And I told them, I'm like, don't work yourself to death. Let's see. Well, I can throw these on her. She has these arm wraps. These came off of, one of my kids had a Star Wars Rey doll, I think. She had these arm wraps, so I confiscated them because they didn't want the doll anymore. So I took all the stuff. You were going in to work? Were you back at the office? You must be, because you shouldn't be wearing it in your damn house. For sure. You better not be. Oh yeah, these dolls, their hands just pop right off. Most of them do. So I'm just gonna slide these on. Arm wraps. Will save me from making them from scratch. Yeah. I'm liking it too. I mean, I still see people every once in a while that wear them, and that's fine. You know, whatever. That's their choice. Yeah. Well, I can't even remember the last time we even really had to. They lifted the school stuff. The rule was after the kids came back from Christmas break, they didn't have to wear them anymore, or that it was optional. And there are still parents that make their kids go to school and have them wear them all day, but I'm like, to me, I bet you those kids are taking them off as soon as they get to school. I would be if I was a kid. I'd be like, yeah, Mom, I wear my mask all day. Fucking take it off as soon as you get to class. Just like when my mom would tell me I wasn't allowed to wear lipstick to school, when my stupid self decides I'm gonna wear bright purple lipstick to school because I'm that person. So, oh my gosh. I'm so glad I don't have as many pictures from my childhood. Like, it was definitely letting my freak flag fly. And I said that without messing it up. Right. So, her hair has been falling down as I've been working on her. I have all the stuff here to do. I bet you I could just work on it. What time is it? It's 1:25. Well, guess maybe I should probably cut it for tonight, and then I'll see when I can work on this, finish it. But yeah, so far so good. Like, the biggest thing that I worry about is doing the painting on the face and trying to get it to look like the character. Hey, that's a pretty good shot of her face. She'll have jewelry in her hair, and I have extra hair too in case, because she kind of has her hair dreaded a little bit with stuff in it. Let's see. That's fine. Yep, I'm gonna head out too, so thank you both for stopping in. I really appreciate it. And maybe I'll catch you another time. I appreciate the support and the encouragement, so thanks for keeping me busy. Oh, bye, hun. Why did I not know it was you? Wait, stop, time out. You changed your name, and like forever ago, I'm like, who is that? We've missed you. If you ever want to come back and play with us, Keel, please do. I need a message. Now I feel like an idiot because I'm like halfway through it. I was kind of like, I don't know who this is. I feel like I should know who this is. Oh man. Thank you for stopping by. I feel like I'm all flustered now. Oh, I'm ugly too. No. And I gotta go put makeup on. Just kidding. I love you. I love you both so much. Anytime you guys want to play games, just hit me up, okay? I'll call it a night tonight. But take care of yourselves. Oh, thank you. I need to catch up with you, though. You need to fill us in how things have been going. Gadget. Oh, no. Yep. Yeah, hit me up on Messenger or something and let me know what you want to play. Keel, if you want to drop in, the invite's always there. Alrighty. Well, I'll catch y'all later. You have a good night. See y'all.